of Katrina Parris Flowers in New York City. Today we're going to talk about how to make a tall centerpiece. We do thousands of tall centerpieces, and there's always the same concern. Katrina, am I going to be able to see the person across from the table? Yes. Are you going to talk to them? Probably not. But let's talk about tricks of the trade of how you get that ideal centerpiece that does not obscure people's views and has a great presence on the table. First, let's talk about containers. This is a 16-inch tall, well, 14-inch tall container with a 5-inch diameter, which is plenty to scale it appropriately for the height. Typically, when you're working with containers, you want to do 2.5 times the height. So for this container, we want to do 2.5 times. So we're working with gladiolas. You can see how tall it'll be appropriately scaled. We're going to do a simple leaf wrap on the top portion of the arrangement, and we're going to do a grid. Quickly, tie leaf is the best for a leaf wrap. We're going to cut the stem. We're going to use a sharp knife to just cut back the little seam, vein, if you will, in the back, just enough to make it pliable so we can wrap it around our hand and put it on the inside of the vase. What's going to happen is that's just going to add to the overall finished look of the arrangement, and the lower portion will show the beautiful chartreuse colors of the stem, and so it'll kind of make it a more polished look. We're also going to do a leaf wrap, grid at the top. The grid is just going to hold the flowers in place. We're going to use some floral tape, very simple. I've already started it. We're going to do 3 rows across, tic-tac-toe it, 3 the other side, very quickly. This is just going to help you keep the flowers in place. You're going to use another piece of tape just to reinforce the tape overall around the diameter of the container. I use a lot of floral tape because it just helps keep the arrangement nice and tight. We're using chartreuse green gladiolas. You're going to clean all of the foliage at the bottom. I've done that, but this is the loose pieces that you see. You're going to give every piece a nice sharp angle cut, and you're going to use your grid to create your design. Remember, for centerpieces, it's got to be all the way around. So I pre-cut them all, so I'm just going to start showing you how you start to get your shape. You want to be cognizant of how you're placing the flowers. You want to work from the inside out. You're going to rotate your arrangement from time to time as well to get balance. I like to use the grid areas in the center, because that's going to give me how wide it's going to come out. It's almost as if you're looking for a V shape, and you can see as I put in the stems how it starts to get that shape. You also have to pay attention to the natural curve of what the flower does. This is a straight up one, which is good for the center because it keeps it straight. Some of them may have a funny curve. This one kind of goes like this, so I look naturally. I'll position this in the back, manipulate that. Again, you're looking for balance, so you're going to use your grid. This is why the grid is so important. It helps you kind of get that shape that you want without things going crazy. Another crazy one kind of curved to the side, but if I kind of angle it a little bit more to this side, it'll fall where I want it to fall over to that side. I'm going to rotate a little bit, fill in over here. Quickly, we're doing this. These glads, something like this, I just cut off. I'm thinking for a 5-inch diameter. If you're working specifically with glads, you're looking at about 20 stems. And again, you got to remember the perspective from the people sitting down is going to be a little bit lower. So this cylinder is really going to be the only thing that's going to be in the visual line. Everything else will be up above the table. I'm going to just show you quickly how to finish off with some simple green foliage accent. I like to use monstera leaves, which is a tropical leaf. Again, you go with a nice sharp angle. You put it on the outside of the grid, and it'll hold it in place. You kind of manipulate them. You can put them all around in between. It's what I call, it makes for a nice collar. Do another one really quickly. Put it on the outside grid. It's one of these simple arrangements that'll go a long way. Anywhere from 3 to 5 will get you your finished look. And what's great about the collar, it hides the mechanicals of where the tape is. You get the last one in. You can layer it. It just gives it a nice finished. You know, this happens to look a little bit more elegant. You can do some votives at the base of the arrangement in the center of the table. It's a nice look. That's your tall arrangement. Thank you. I'm Katrina Parris.